Hey guys, Will here, and I'm with our friend Lynx.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
And today we're gonna be talking about. I think I'm
You gotta
gonna
give them.
say a
You should have
buttload.
acted like they responded. Like you should have been like, "Oh, that's good to hear." Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
my
Something like
mistake.
that.
I'm not
Come on,
very
William.
cordial, I guess.
Yeah, you didn't let them have time to respond.
My mistake. Let me do that again.
Mm,
How was your day going, guys?
mm, that's interesting.
Fantastic. Where's the map? That's right. It's over there. Okay, so um. we're talking about, I'm going to say a buttload of things. Uh, we're going to be talking about Boba Fett because it's
That's our main
finished.
thing.
The
Yes,
book of Boba Fett, that is the main thing.
we're
And
gonna do our complete review and opinions. All the good stuff.
speculations and such.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we're going to be talking about different trailers that have been released for the next Jurassic Park, the Lightyear animated movie, some of the DC stuff that's popping in,
Yes.
and then some video game stuff.
Yes. So stay tuned for that because let's just say there was some stuff for the Black Adam movie. And if you've been watching this channel at all, you probably know that I'm really excited for Black Adam and I'm a huge advocate. I think it's going to be an amazing movie. William's like, we'll see.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'll save.
Yeah, William thinks it will be okay. I think it will be amazing.
Well, I mean,
William's not as hopeful as I am. I
I,
can dream.
I mean, I okay. I want it to be a really good movie. I'm gonna say that.
Okay. Well, anyways, I have a trivia question for you today.
What is the trivia question?
So, since we're talking about the Book of Boba, I thought I'd give you a Boba Fett trivia question.
All right.
And you're the Star Wars person, so you should know this.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if you'll know it, but it'll just be. I can laugh at you because you're supposed to be the Star Wars person.
Okay.
So when Boba Fett escapes the Sarlacc pit, how old is he?
Okay. So this is
Around what age?
So this is a lot of math. So first time we see him is in episode 2. I think he's like a 10-year-old. He might be younger than
That
that.
would be correct.
So he's like 10 there. Um it's like the Clone Wars is like 3 years. All right. So he's like 13 by the end of the Clone Wars. And
Your
then
math is actually correct.
yeah, and then you skip
Yeah.
20 years ahead to the New Hope. And so at that point he would be 33. And oh gosh, I think only 1 year, 1 or 2 years, I don't know. 1 or 2 years pass before you see him get down to the Sarlacc pit. So I'm gonna say he's 35 when he gets out of the pit.
He is 41 years old.
How is he 41?
Okay, I can look this up again. Maybe you want to look it up again. But someone did the
Okay,
math.
was there like 10 years I didn't recognize? How many years was between A New Hope and episode 3?
So, yeah, so he's around 41, 42. He was 36 in Return of the Jedi.
Oh
So I
wait,
guess he was in the
when he
Sarlacc
got out
pit
of the
for 5
Sarlacc pit.
years?
What?
Yeah, the math doesn't really make sense, does it?
No, I could see him. So like he's like 36 when he gets in Sarlacc pit. At the start of the book of Boba Fett, it's like 5 years after he got out of the Sarlacc pit because there was 5 years in between. So like he got out of the Sarlacc
Oh, yes.
pit.
Yes.
It's 5 years is when it takes place.
Yes, when the show takes place, rather. So you are
Yeah.
correct. He's 36 and still like 36 when he comes out.
I
When the
said
show takes
35,
place.
but 36 is.
Yes, you would have been right. You would have been right though, because you would have added 5 years. That was just my
Yeah.
bad.
Ah, man.
Dang, William, I'm actually really impressed with your math on Star Wars.
Hey, man. I'm not good at math, but I'm good at math in Star Wars.
Yeah, wow.
You
I
wanna know
would
how
not have
many
known that, to be honest.
parsecs it takes to run the the Kessel Run?
Oh gosh, I can't even remember that.
I don't actually either. I'm just joking. What is
What
it?
is it?
That's the next trivia question. How many parsecs? Was it 25 or something? I don't
I thought it
remember.
was like 14.
Is it 14? It's probably something like that. But so besides parsecs,
12
I know
parsecs.
Boba's 12.
Less than 12.
Less than 12. Oh yeah, less than 12 parsecs. Well, that's our TED talk on quantum mechanics and physics and space flight. So
Yeah, comment down below and say, dang, William, you're good at your Star Wars math, because that was really impressive. And you
I
would
was
have gotten
just,
it right if I would have
oh
told you,
no, I don't
like,
know if
the
I would have gotten it right because I was
correct
still like
thing.
1 year off, right?
Well, yeah, but like 30, because he was like 35, 36, and Return of the Jedi. So
Yeah. See, like
it's hard when it
I
comes to
thought
age, because
only,
he could have been like 10 and a half, you know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
like, okay, well, the Clone Wars was around 3 1/4, so a year gets added on every now and then.
yeah, because like I was pretty sure it was like 1 or 2 years between episode 1 and episode 2. And episode 3. I mean, not episode 1, episode 3. Episode 4 and episode 6 is what I meant. Um, yeah.
How many years?
So I think it's like, well, it's the Clone Wars was like 3 years. The time between New Hope and Return of the Jedi, I think, is like 2 years, 2 or 3,
Huh.
I think, because the last time you see like Luke in episode 5, he's not a full blown Jedi yet, but he completes his training, you know,
Hmm.
which I think it takes at least a year to complete your training. I would imagine, you know.
Yeah. Huh. Dang, that was impressive. I guess we're gonna get on to the Book of Boba now, though.
Yeah.
So he was 36 when he escaped the Sarlacc pit. He was in the desert for like 5 years. So when the show starts, Boba is 41.
Yeah.
All right. So
The whole way they did time though was kind of,
was messed up.
yeah, because
I know that's something you were gonna get into for sure.
yeah,
Um,
I think I might have mentioned it before too, but just like so when they showed his overall like his flashback in his life, the Tuscan stuff was supposed to be 5 years, which I just don't understand.
yeah, and then like the Fennec Shan stuff, I was like, what?
That
It just
happens
doesn't
like
add up very well.
that like so he had like the 5 years, and then Mando started, and Mando did his thing, and like what the midpoint of his first season, Fennec Shen shows up and she gets beat. So then it's like on year 5 he meets Fennec Shen, Boba.
Yeah, I still
I
think
think.
Den should not have caught Fennec Shan.
Yeah.
But that's a rant for another time. Um, so before we get started with our breakdown and everything and our thoughts, well, I guess these are still thoughts. We're gonna give what we usually do. We're gonna give a spoiler-free review, rating, and also should you watch this. What I mean by should you watch this is, you know,
Whether or not you should watch it.
yeah, basically, like, is it? We're gonna tell you if it's relevant to the Star Wars universe. You know, because there's some Star Wars or there's some stuff like What If I don't think is a necessary thing to watch, right?
And you like Visions, you don't need to necessarily watch that.
Yeah, just stuff like that. But like, is this necessary to watch in order to understand whatever? And also, you know, is it good and other stuff? So,
Well, let's give a rating to it
okay, out of 10.
out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna let you go first because you're always
I
the
always go
optimistic
first.
one.
Oh, I'm very optimistic. Okay, so I never really thought about this, so I'm on the spot now. I think I would give it. I'd give it an 8. I'd give it an 8.
Oh wow.
I know, surprising, right?
I'd give it a 7, 6.5 to 7.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
just my
kind of
opinion.
figured from you. I was actually expecting kind of like a 6 from
I
you.
was gonna say 6, but I'm like, you know what? I did enjoy the show, and it kept me coming back.
Yeah,
So I have a lot to say once we get into the spoiler part. It's not going to be a Loki rant, but it is going to be a rant. Um,
uh,
so before we get into that, though, you know, if you're new to Star Wars or if you've been actually, I should preface this. If you've been a long-time Star Wars fan, I think you'll enjoy the show. Um,
I would agree.
if you're a new Star Wars fan, I don't necessarily think it's for you, but you kind of have to watch it.
Yeah,
um,
if you want to
so
watch
I would
Mandalorian,
say yes, I'd say this is a must watch
so
because there's some stuff that takes place that will tie into future Star Wars stuff. If you don't want to be spoiled, like that's okay. But I imagine if you're the type of person you already know, like, so maybe I should say it. You do see Din Djarin. So you can imagine how that would tie into Mandalorian season 3.
I would say this show. If I know a lot of people jumped on the Mandalorian without even watching anything Star Wars before, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of people like who did that to continue Mandalorian or like go through any further future Star Wars TV shows, probably besides the Obi-Wan TV show that's coming. You'll probably want to watch this because this has
I'd
stuff
say
that sets up.
including especially the Obi-Wan show, you'd wanna watch all the movies,
Well, yeah.
you know, and including Clone Wars for the Obi-Wan show. I mean,
I mean, you could even Clone
I
Wars
don't think
for this because I mean, there's one
yeah,
big guy who pops in there. But
yeah, true.
yeah,
Yes, Clone Wars, I think all these are becoming necessary, like,
to get the full
yes,
background knowledge.
so if you're not very big into Star Wars right now, one thing I recommend you do, of course, watch the movies. If you are listening to this and haven't seen Star Wars at all, haven't seen Mandalorian, I would recommend you start with the prequels. That's just me personally. Then I'd go into the original trilogy because honestly, the original trilogy can be hard for new fans to appreciate because it is a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Then I would say go to the Clone Wars or Rebels, and I guess you can watch the new stuff too. But I wouldn't say that's like mandatory at the moment. Actually, let me hear your opinion, William. You think you should
So
watch all the movies first, including the new trilogy? Because yeah,
I I think you should
yeah,
watch definitely the prequels Definitely the original trilogy. I would say the sequel is optional. So if you want to, you can. It's not required because the sequels take place after everything else,
Mhm.
you know? So it's not as needed. Um, I will. Let me finish what I was gonna say though
Oh,
about
sorry, William.
um s- the Boba Fett show. It sets up a lot of stuff for the next shows. Like I said, except for Obi-Wan, it doesn't really set that up. Maybe with like
Oh, that's what you were
one
saying. Okay.
character, maybe with like one character that you might see in the Obi-Wan TV show, which I'll talk about that further in review. But it sets up stuff for the Ahsoka show, maybe for the um, what's it called? The Republic Commando show, maybe. And it definitely sets up for Mandalorian season 3.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you were talking about like it's becoming necessary to watch like all this stuff.
I mean, that's
Um,
not what I was originally talking about, but I'm glad you brought that up because that's also
yes.
very important to
w-
discuss.
One thing I am going to stress, if you have not seen Rebels, you are going to want to watch Rebels. I say this because the Ahsoka show is going to be very dependent on Rebels, I think.
Very much so.
Um, so if you have not seen it, watch it, which there's
And there's
some
some episodes
inconsistencies
probably for
in the
Obi-Wan
timeline.
also.
Sorry?
I was gonna say there's probably some episodes for Obi-Wan also.
Yes, and I'd say it's becoming essential to watch Clone Wars as well. Um, if you're really getting into Star Wars and you possibly like a bunch of this stuff, I would recommend watching stuff. I'd say, I mean, Clone Wars is amazing, but I'd say it's more important right now to watch Rebels because of the Ahsoka show.
I mean, Ahsoka is very much in
Oh
Clone
yes, this
Wars.
is this is true as well, but
More
I
so
completely
in Clone Wars.
yes, I get yeah, that is very true. William makes a good point. Ahsoka is in Clone Wars, so watch Clone Wars and then watch Rebels.
You
I was
have to do
thinking
this.
like, yeah, I forgot Ahsoka is not in the movies. Gosh, um,
Yeah.
so watch all that stuff. Um,
So, without
I guess we're
spoiling the show, it's it's about Boba Fett, kind of. Um, it's about Boba Fett the first half of the show. Then it's about literally everyone else.
yes.
So, if you
So I'd say if you're not really liking the Boba Fett part, just
stick it through,
yes, stick it through until like episode 5, I think. And then if you're most people like the episode 5, I will say that.
and most people like, I think, episode 6.
Yes, so stick it through. Like it's not the most exciting show, but I do think it's necessary. Gosh, I
Well,
can't believe
that's
I forgot
if
Ahsoka
you
was
don't
in
like
Clone
the
Wars.
Boba Fett stuff.
That's true.
If you like the Boba Fett stuff, you'll like the show, and you might be a little, uh, you might miss Boba Fett the second half of the show, basically. But if you are also a fan of Mandalorian, you probably be happy with it. But if you're like Lincoln, you'll be upset.
Wait, what is that supposed to mean? I'm a
I
fan of
don't know, man.
Mandalorian.
I don't know, man. Those text messages,
I don't
you
know
know.
anymore though. Um, so if you haven't watched it, come back and watch this video and see if our opinions resonate with you. Mine probably won't. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm very I'm a contrarian, so
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Maybe you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying," but I'm just telling you now, you probably won't agree with what I'm saying, but or some of the things I'm saying. Let me just preface that. William is going to say a lot of good stuff though. Um, so
Sure.
now we're moving into spoiler territory.
All right.
So how do
So
you want to go about this, William?
let's start with the good stuff because I think you have fewer things to sing, not to sing, to say about the good stuff, and you have more to say, I think, about the bad parts of it. I think
Well,
I kind of
it's
am
not.
on that too.
Well, I think. Let me just say this beforehand. I think there's a lot of good stuff.
There it is.
It wasn't great. You know how we did our Amazing Spider-Man review?
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man. Good, like good movie,
but just poor
amazing
planning.
concepts, just poor execution.
Yeah, oh,
So
poor execution. Yeah.
that's my main flaw with the show. And of course we'll talk about that more. But I did really like this show. It's just I it's tough, you know. All right, so I'm gonna let you start out with some ideas because you know.
So I'm gonna say probably the best part of this show. I mean, the thing about these Disney Star Wars shows is the design, the environment, like everything is beautiful. It's all good. The
Hmm.
the the setting is just presented really well. I mean, the camera work I would say is also really good. Um, I mean, they're always good at that stuff though. Like the aliens look interesting too. Um, I would say that Boba Fett was cool, had a lot of cool scenes. The fight scenes were pretty good. Some of them didn't make sense, but we can talk about that more later. Um, I liked Fennec Shen a lot. I think
I
she
agree.
didn't do anything that was bad. You know, she did basically good as a support character for Boba Fett. Um, a lot of the stuff around Boba Fett, like the story, was pretty good. I like the Tusken and Raider stuff. I felt
Yeah,
though,
I like how much it added to the lore. I feel like, you know, before this show and kind of before Mandalorian kind of did this as well. Like the Tuskens were just like savages, it kind of felt like.
yeah,
So
but
I
now they
like
have
how it made them.
culture.
Yeah, I really did appreciate that.
They're like
Um,
animals, so I slaughtered them like animals. No,
I totally agree with you. The stuff around Boba Fett is awesome. I want to talk about Fennec Shan, if you don't mind, real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
So, like, I know. Never mind. That's gonna be later. What I think could happen, but Fennec Shan is a very good character in my opinion, and I just, you know, it really feels like she should get her own show. I feel like just because she's such a strong character.
Maybe
The way she's written, like
you know, she actually appeared in the Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
Yeah,
Yes.
like 1 or 2 episodes in there.
And that's set up for Mandalorian, right? Or
That was well set up for just Fennec Shen because
yeah.
they just established that she was working during that time. Because like they mentioned in the show, her becoming like she's an up and coming like star assassin, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
and it feels really awesome because she's one of those characters where you're like, okay, you don't want to mess with that character. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you can really feel like that's a really cool character. Like she will mess you up.
I really like Chris Santon also.
I would agree.
He's very much cool, and I feel like we're gonna see him again in the Obi-Wan TV show.
Yes,
Because the comic origins.
I think you know, it's so cool because Chrysanthemum is like, what if Chewbacca was just like kind of brutal, because Chewbacca's
Yeah.
like what type of character that you would just want to hug. And it's like, what if Chewbacca wasn't that way? And I believe Chrysanthemum and Chewbacca fight, and Chrysanthemum wins, of course, because he's like enhanced his bone structure is enhanced with metal, and he's a pretty crazy bounty hunter.
Well, Chrysanthemum, former gladiator. I mean,
Yes,
he's bounty hunter as well. He had a lot of good scenes where they showed that he was really cool. Um, I like how they showed the Trandoshan relationship with Wookiees
I do
because
like that too.
they always had Chrysanthemum. If there was a problem with the Trandoshans, it was always Chrysanthemum who was there in the situation. Where like Chrysanthemum's like basically been left by the two huts, which is very cool. Those two huts, more lore building, more lore building, because like you honestly, I thought after Jabba the huts were basically dead, right?
I did too. Like I know the Jabba's son's out there or whatever,
Yeah,
but
because
like
I
Jabba
mean
was like the head hut.
he
Because in the
was, and
Clone
also the
Wars, I
other huts
remember
were
like stuff
killed.
happened. Yeah,
So it's very interesting. But Chrysanthemum just kind of rips the Trandoshan's arm off, which is pretty good.
which if you guys
Um,
don't know, that did not hurt the Trandoshan very much at all. I imagine it hurt, but like Trandoshans can regrow limbs, so like that guy is still gonna have his arm in a little bit.
yeah. Well, probably not anymore because Chrysanthemum killed all those Trandoshan.
Very
So
true, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I
because that scene kind of made him seem brutal, right? Which he is a brutal character, but he's not as bad as he seems because he's not going to just randomly rip off people's arms just to do it. They'll regrow their arms.
was kind of
He
weird
was
with
kind of being reasonable though.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's reasonable just to attack random people, but I guess it's like oh, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to these guys, which makes
Yeah,
sense.
like I'm gonna rip off their arm, which they'll regrow.
Yeah. One thing that was weird about the last episode with Chrysanthemum was all of a sudden they started calling him Santo.
I
I was like,
know.
why are you calling him Santa? That's kind of weird.
It reminded me of the Lone Ranger. What do they call that one guy? Tonto or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know why
I
it
think it's Santa.
reminded me of that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but like I mean, a lot of the side characters were good. The Gamorrean guards, Rip, the
Oh my
homies.
gosh.
I was so upset.
Amazing.
I was
I was
upset.
so upset too. I was actually going to mention that when we were talking about the bat. I was going to
I
like,
know. I'm trying to
why did they kill the
tiptoe
Gamorrean
around the bad
guards?
stuff. Um, I think, I mean, the other good stuff is just the Luke, Grogu, Mandalorian, Ahsoka. That stuff was good. R2 stuff was good. Majority of that was good. That's the Naboo Starfighter was cool. That mechanic lady, I like her. She was
The
good.
fact that Jawas are furry, that's kind of cool that we know that now.
Well, no, I think we already knew that though, or
Oh, did we?
speculated at least. Yeah. Um, but we saw a lot more Jawas too, because Jawas knocked out Boba Fett and took his gear. It's kind of funny. Um,
Yeah. We
then they
saw Cod Vamp,
Cobb Van Cobb
and then
Van.
also, I don't know how you haven't mentioned this character yet.
Go
We
ahead.
saw Cad Bane.
Yeah, very cool to see him in live action.
Yes, we have to talk about that real quick. I This was like one of those moments where it was like, um, I was so happy because just to tell the story, I went to campus after this, and I was just walking around outside, going to my class, and I was just smiling, and I would just look so stupid smiling because I was so happy about that. It was just one of those moments, like a Luke moment, Luke and the
Yeah.
Mandalorian for me at least. Because like me and you probably more so than me, grew up watching the show.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that Cad Bane's in it.
Basically the most dangerous bounty hunter that is named Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Some would even say that he's even stronger than Boba Fett.
I
Um,
would say Boba Fett is the number one bounty hunter. Besides Dirge, of course. But
yeah.
I'm just
Dirge.
kidding. I would say
Um,
Boba Fett is the number one bounty hunter. Cad Bane is definitely up there, though. Um, you
yeah, I
know,
mean, I think that's really it for the good stuff.
I'm trying to think. Like, oh, concepts, amazing. I thought the concept of the show was pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, Now to transition, I guess, into the bad stuff. Please, like, I know we say this like with everything. This was a good show. Like, this was more good than it was bad.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna talk about the bad stuff because it's easier to nitpick stuff.
Mhm. Oh wait, also the Rancor was cool.
Oh
And the
yes,
Scorpion X
such a good
fight was good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, did you get my joke I made about the Clone Wars episode with Saw Gerrera?
Yeah,
Uh,
because
it's like
the
you
whole
have
thing with
to,
the shields, ray
yeah, you
shield.
have to throw the grenade just right so it enters the shield or whatever. I
Yeah.
was like, they really needed to take lessons from that.
They were
Um,
just I mean, I was surprised
Gosh,
that they didn't know that stuff. That is just a supersized droideka, which is
yeah, it's
scary.
just a kinetic energy field. I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, like you guys did not know that. That aggravated me a little bit because it's like, of course your weapon is not going to do anything. You need like a ship to fire.
Yeah.
Which oh, another good part. Seeing the slave one is always good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's called the slave one anymore, but I'm gonna refer
Uh
to it as that way.
it's I I don't know. That's a gray area. I don't know. It's a little spotty there. I don't know if it's Slave One anymore. I'm gonna refer to it as Slave One. I think he calls it Slave One, right?
I'm not sure, but you know, gosh, seeing the ion, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the charge thing that he
Yes, the
drops.
charge
Yeah,
inside the Sarlacc. I was just like, oh my gosh, that was pretty cool seeing that.
that was used against Obi-Wan Kenobi in space.
hmm
Yeah,
Because there's something just so iconic about um the charge going off.
I would concur. So the Sarlacc's
So
dead. So it's dead.
okay,
Um,
this is my thing. You know how long it takes Sarlaccs to grow?
I would imagine a really long time.
Like a super, super long time, like thousands of years, or if not more. And so I was just like, you're literally destroying one of, you're kind of destroying the ecosystem by doing that, Boba.
What
Little
about
disappointed
Great
in you.
Dragon?
Huh?
What about destroying the Crate Dragon?
I know that was bad too. Like, they're just ruining Tatooine.
Ah, they're trying to save it from the spice.
Yeah. I kind of wish Boba would get a canyon crate dragon, but that's just a
He has a Rancor. That's
yeah,
good
that's
enough for
true.
now. But
Um oh
okay,
yes,
so
Boba riding the Rancor was a cool moment as well.
it was very much cool, and the fight with that and the Grogu scene with it made sense.
Mhm.
You know,
I
it's
do
just kind of like
appreciate the oh sorry.
no. Say what you're gonna say.
I do appreciate like how they are nerfing a character like that. Like Rey could just do whatever and be fine. But like Grogu gets severely weakened, like and tired.
Yeah,
after he
passed
performs
out, right?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, he went
which I
up to
still
it and
think it's
broke his
insane
finger.
that he can do that stuff, but it's like,
Well, they
okay,
said
that
that
makes
his
up for it a little
force
bit.
was really high, right?
His midichlorian count, yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. Um, on the bad stuff, so this was a good show, as Lincoln said, and it's easier to pick out the bad stuff because you remember it more because you didn't like it. Um, the mods suck. Um,
You
yeah,
hmm.
the cyborg sidekicks, those
You
guys
know,
suck.
I was kinda okay with them, like, they didn't bother me too much.
I was okay with them. I like the guy who makes the robots. That guy was cool. Like the guy who
I
like
like the
actually
guy
does
with the
the
eye.
um oh what's his name? I don't remember his name. I don't like the girl though, for sure. My mighty damn yeah. Her accent's kind of weird. Um,
This
but
is why William gave it an 8
yeah,
an 8.
yeah. But
It dropped.
uh, they kind of sucked. What they did to the Gamorrean guards sucked. I do like the way the betrayal
I agree.
went down with that, where they like, oh, they all got betrayed. My thing was this: you most definitely did not have enough people. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, you have like nobody. But
You know, and I was also like, you realize there's more Tuscans out in the desert. I really thought he was gonna call the
yeah.
Tuscans in the Hope,
I
but
mean, they weren't
that's
their tribe members though. Like his tribe was dead.
yeah, but still, you know, like, he's a Tuscan, you know? I thought something like that was gonna happen. Um, I totally agree with those critiques, especially the Gamorrean guards. I was like, they were so loyal. Like, those were amazing.
Yeah, we didn't even see those Aqualish, no, sorry, not Aqualish, the Black Sun guys get murdered. I don't know what species it is, so I just say Black Sun. Those guys did not get murdered, which
What
is
guys?
the guys who killed the Gamorreans.
Oh, yeah.
What
They
you
got
know
the
what
better
was
end of the deal.
yeah. You know what's interesting though? They they called them the Syndicate the whole time, which was interesting. So even after Darth Maul's death, they still went by the Syndicate, unless it's referring to just the Pike Syndicate, which it might be. So
I think it was just referring to the Pike Syndicate.
yeah. Well, more bad stuff that I'm just remembering is
Okay, can I
um
mention one? You know
yeah,
which one I
go
wanna
ahead and
mention.
mention one. Go ahead, dude.
No, I'm gonna let you continue a little bit because this is gonna be lengthy, but you know which one I wanna mention, so
So I'll try to stay away from that.
okay.
I so a lot of the bad stuff. Okay, so the Freetown people, those people kind of suck. So like, I like the second in command kind of guy. Yeah, like the bartender guy.
Oh, I
I
thought you
like
were
him.
talking about the guy that got shot, like, 50
Okay,
times or
the
whatever.
deputy guy sucks, but it's whatever. Um, he so the I like them, but I don't like how these nobodies are all of a sudden like you're gonna try to snipe them with that? Who's that girl? That girl just kinda started talking all of a sudden.
You
Like,
know, I kinda thought that too. I was like, "Who is this person?" But I'm also like, you know, Freetown probably has had to defend themselves ever since then, so you know what? I'm willing to accept that.
fair. Okay. Um, final thing I can remember at this exact moment is the Cad Bane fight at the end.
Hmm.
So, I know a lot of people were upset that they killed Cad Bane. He might actually still be alive. We have no idea.
Yeah,
But
because the
I think
light was
he's dead.
blinking or whatever.
I think he's dead.
I would
And
agree. I think it'd be smart to keep him dead.
the fight was not nearly how it should be. I know that it's restricted because of live action. We know that if it was animated, it would have been Like they would be flying in the air, fighting, shooting, doing all kinds of
Yeah.
things. They are old though, so that's a fair critique. Um, Boba Fett wasn't nearly BA, cool enough in this
Yes.
show.
I I totally agree with that. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I do want to loop back to the Cad Bane fight, but I think I'm gonna include that in like because I kind of want to go over like what I think should have happened in the show
hmm
because I was like, oh, because it was an amazing concept. I just don't think it was executed very well.
Well, we could do
So
our own video of a rewrite of the Boba
we
Fett
could, but
series.
I don't know if we could, but I don't know if I want to do that. We could. Um,
We'll figure it out.
yeah. So now I forgot what we were talking about.
Boba Fett.
Yes, Boba not being cool or whatever. Like, I really was hoping there would be a moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, Boba Fett's awesome. I didn't get that moment at all.
I mean,
I mean, him riding the
kinda with
Rancor
the
was pretty
Rancor.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about
But
it.
that's mainly because the Rancor is awesome, not particularly him.
Also, the plot armor. I remember. So Lincoln had texted me before I watched the episode, the final one, and he said Boba Fett finally learned the secret to life.
Eternal Life? Yeah.
Yeah, to eternal life. And I was like, oh, is it riding a Rancor? But then, like, I started watching, and then I started seeing Boba Fett just getting shot over and over and over again.
Dude,
Seeing
once
two
now that he has
Mandalorians
that
get
mod
shot
guy.
is just unfair.
Yeah. And also he has that mod guy. That's what I was talking about. Because
Oh
he
yeah, that too.
literally has brought two people back to life.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what the heck? They're dead. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do. And
Well,
then he just
Cobb
like brings
Vanth
them
got
back
shot
to
in the
life.
arm, so
Well, yeah, but Finnick was dead.
she well, she was close to death. She was going to die.
I think she was dead.
No, I think you're just thinking too realistically. This is a space
Okay.
opera.
That's why I was like, I think he found the secret to eternal life because he's literally bringing everybody back to life. And
Also,
also,
here's just a little nitpick. So his armor was never Beskar. It was
I
Durasteel.
know, I knew you were about to say that.
It's Durasteel. I don't.
Yes, which
I
Durasteel
get
is
it.
really powerful armor, but like,
Okay, so I get it because we put Mando in here. We're like Beskar steal everything. It was Durasteel. It was never Beskar. So I
that
don't.
is aggravating. I was like, okay, wait, his armor's Beskar now? Like it never was.
We could just chop it up to after he got it back in season 2 of Mando. He put Beskar on it. But what doesn't make sense is that I think it was Beskar even before he got it back because Cobb Vanth was like eating bullets, I think, or he could.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it's always been Durasteel, always been Durasteel. But
And
okay, it's rewrite, retconned.
yeah, so also I don't they left it very ambiguous whether Boba is Mandalorian or not. Like I'm just so confused about that because
You really believe that
he's
Bantha fodder?
not Mandalorian, huh?
You say I remember a line you said. You really believe in that Bantha fodder?
Oh yeah. But like I'm just like, what are you trying to do with this character? Like, it wasn't very clear what they want to do with this character.
He's a foundling, but like he's not necessarily a Mandalorian, right? This did
Yeah,
bring something back where it's like when a Mandalorian makes a promise to do a job, he'll always do it. Which I
yeah.
forgot about that since season 1. because that was a thing that he said a couple times, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's like part of the creed. But
Okay,
the thing you want to talk about. Let's
this is gonna be a huge rant.
okay. So it went from being a kind of rant to a huge rant. Okay, let's hear it.
So this is a good and bad thing. Din Djarin.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. He should not have gotten his own freaking episode though. Like that makes me so mad. I texted William. I just kind of want them to kill this character.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
I think the biggest problem with Boba Fett was they gave Boba Fett 4 episodes, and then they gave everyone else and him the last 3 episodes. Like he was
which
barely in his own show.
yes, let's be honest here. This hurts. Din sucks as a bounty hunter. He sucks.
Yeah, he has
The only reason he's good is because he has Beskar armor
and the dark saber.
and the dark saber. It's just and Grogu. Like it just aggravates me because I'm like, okay, I understand like everybody is huge into the Mandalorian, but you don't need to put him in everything. Boba should be able to have his own standalone show.
Yeah,
And that I think that really took away from the show in my opinion.
I
Um
think. Well, I saw one thing where it was like Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett writers broke the first rule of like writing. They didn't focus on their main character. You know, they focus on
yeah,
other characters more than their main character.
which it was just aggravating because it was like, okay, Den is cool, but I'm kind of tired of Den. Like he's right now like he should just be a relevant character that's there to help. He shouldn't be this big character because he's not a big and bad character. He's probably just like okay at best,
We
you
would
know?
never have a Mandalorian like we would never have a Mandalorian season 3 episode where it's just Boba. Would never happen,
Yeah.
and it's not
And
going to.
it was just so aggravating because yeah, I remember texting you that. I just wish Den would die. Like
Yeah,
because it's just so frustrating. I'm like, you literally have this amazing character that fans love Boba, and you're taking away from his show to bring up a character who's a sucky bounty hunter and nothing compared to Boba. Um, it's just aggravating because there could have been cool moments where Boba could have taught Din something, but it wasn't like that at all.
yeah. I
Because
mean,
Boba
Din
is
is
the
like
number.
30 also. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Boba is the best bounty hunter. You know, like not probably not at the moment, but like he was the best bounty hunter, number one. And you kind of have this guy for some reason who just isn't very good. Like he's good, right? Because he caught Fennec Shen, but I'm just gonna leave that down to writing. I don't think he should have caught her. Um, so he could have really learned a lot from Boba, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
yeah, it treated them almost as equals, almost as if Din was better, which is, I mean, if you had Boba fight Din, Boba should win.
No, Boba would destroy Din Djarin. Like it wouldn't
Yeah,
even be a fight. Like Din
should.
Djarin would pull out his knife or whatever, and he'd be dead already. Like
I
that's
mean,
just
they
how that worked.
underpowered Boba, though,
They
now,
really did.
because ever since Sasha Banks, you know, it's just kind of been, well, he was, I think, still hurt, right? This was supposed to be him full strength, and it wasn't really there.
Hmm.
Because, like, now we have an explanation for why Sasha was able to keep up with him, because he wasn't at full capacity, full strength, you know?
Mm-hmm. Um,
Still kind of undefined why he was hurt, though.
well, I imagine it's the toxins from the Sarlacc pit and stuff like that.
Maybe.
But I think, this is probably why I got so mad about it, because everybody, like, I'd talk to people, they'd be like, "Have you watched the new episode?" Or I'd ask, "Have you watched the new episode?" Or the new episode, and they say yes, and I'd be like, "Well, what did you think?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really like that Din's in it." And they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it made the show so much better. Like, I don't even understand why we're having a Boba show or whatever." I was like, I don't know. It just really aggravates me because
Yeah.
why do we need this character? Like, why do we need Din Djarin to be in everything? It just is aggravating.
He's
And
like the flagship for the Star Wars TV shows. It's kind of like how when Arrow was a thing, he would always make crossovers and their stuff. You know what I
well,
mean?
that's true, but like Arrow, I feel like that's a little bit different because you can fight someone who's really powerful. It's not like that, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
Cad Bane's powerful and the Pike Syndicate is powerful, but it's tough because Arrow didn't steal the show and wasn't given the opportunity to steal the show like in The Flash because The Flash was still the main character of The Flash.
true. That's
So,
yeah. They gave him a whole dedicated episode, which I think is like sure what we saw in episode 5 and episode 6 were cool, but the fact that he basically had 2 episodes dedicated to him is just wrong. You know?
I totally agree. And you know, I just don't know. It's just frustrating because
Yeah.
it's like, are all the shows going to be like this?
I
Like,
mean, I don't. If so for Ahsoka, I think it's just gonna be her, just her show. I think. I don't think the Mando would pop in as the main character.
this makes me really worried for Obi-Wan. Like,
Well,
how we've had that discussion where it's like,
he's
we
gonna
don't
be
think
the
Obi-Wan's going to
co-star,
be the. Yes,
which
they've done
is
it before, so why would they not do it again? Like,
yeah,
the
it's
fact that it's Obi-Wan will bring
fair.
in views and they can promote a new character or whatever. It's just,
Unless it's like a Fennec Shen level character where like they're
yeah,
good and fun to watch.
because Finnick is. I mean, not that it was a Boba Fett show, and when Finnick was on the show, like she did very well, but it didn't feel like she stole the show.
Yeah,
It
she was a
still felt like she
support.
was Boba's show because she was supporting Boba's character. Den was just like doing whatever and trying to figure out his own thing, and it's just like, what the heck? But let's go
True.
back to the Boba being not too powerful part.
So,
Um,
in majority of his fights, he lost.
yeah,
The first episode, I could say, okay, the flashback Huskin fights, I get it. He's injured, fresh out the Sarlacc pit. He's starving. He's
dehydrated. Yeah,
dehydrated. He's not in the place to fight. And then he gets trained and he learns a new fighting style and he's even stronger now. Still injured though, I guess, because the Starlight Pit or whatever. And then you see him in season 2 of Mandalorian. They did a good job showing him like kick butt. Like he was destroying
except with the Sasha Banks
troopers.
character.
Except for with her. That was weird. But besides
Disney
that,
should
they
have
showed
destroyed
that.
that character.
Yeah. But then they had uh stuff in this show where he was getting surrounded, beat up on, shot repeatedly. Like, you know, it doesn't show how good of a bounty hunter is. He's known
Mm.
for being able to talk back to Darth Vader, right? He is the strongest bounty hunter. He was sent after Luke and those guys. It was like top priority stuff to deal with. He was Jabba's top bounty hunter. You know, he had a lot to his name. He has, I guess, Beskar steel armor now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If his armor is Beskar, is his jetpack also Beskar?
Asking the tough questions, aren't we? I don't know.
Because remember the reason why he got into the Sarlacc pit was because Han backed up, and accidentally hit it.
Well, yeah, but so I feel like that's explained because jetpacks had a lot of malfunctions. That's been explained in Star Wars.
True, Django befell the same fate, because his jetpack broke. Yeah, okay.
So I feel like that's fair.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, but they just very much underpowered Boba. You should have been a lot stronger.
Yeah, which we're gonna get into the fight with Cad Bane and Boba now. And Boba's like 12 or something at the time.
So you're telling me Cad Bane is 70?
Yes,
One
71.
his species lives like 70 on
Mm-hmm.
average. So he was
Yes.
like what, 40, 50 in Clone Wars?
He was something like that. He was relatively old. Let me do the math.
I guess
Or let me look up.
I guess that makes sense because he was always kind of like the more older, like toothpick in his mouth kind of guy, right?
Yeah, he's always looked older. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Never
He's
mind what.
62 years old.
Okay, so he was 40.
Yes.
All right, I'll
I
accept it.
thought he was 71. Never mind.
He's like
Yeah, he's
he's like
62.
40. Yes, he's like 40.
Holy crap, wait, never mind. So he's 62. One second. Cad Bane was 41 years old in the year 7956, which was 11 years after the pod race and 32 BBY. This means that Cad Bane was born in the year 62 BBY, and since the events of Boba Fett take place 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, it means Cad Bane is roughly 71 years old when he appears in the show.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because he would be 60 something at the end of. No, he'd be 60 something at the beginning of A New Hope, and this is like 8 years later, right? Or 9 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Which,
makes sense because he'd be like 60 in New Hope. Man, isn't
oh,
it crazy to think about that? While Luke is figuring out how to be a Jedi, Cad Bane's over here, like existing. Imagine if Cad Bane had been the one sent after them, and Obi-Wan had to deal with Cad Bane.
that would have been interesting. But I
Yeah,
feel like, it does have something to do with the blaster Bobo was using, right? The
yeah,
E3 is just a bigger blaster. Amazing weapon. Amazing weapon.
yep.
Just a bigger blaster, but I feel like he could out duel Cad Bane.
I Well, he did it in the past. That's why he has that mechanical stuff
Wait,
on his head.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
So
he'd do it again.
my thing with I told William this before the episode came out. The thing I wanted to happen between Boba and Cad Bane is I wanted Boba to say, "Okay, we'll do it this time or whatever, and take off his helmet. Like, I don't get why you would not do that. Because the reason, you know, it was kind of a draw, right? Because Boba got knocked out, Cad was killed,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so it
mean,
would
it
be,
was he even wearing his Mandalorian helmet in that fight, or I forget. He was, right?
he was wearing a helmet, that's why he has the dent. It knocked him out.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because it's Durasteel.
Nah, it's Beskar.
So, you know, William is saying like it would have been cool to have an amazing fight where like Cad uses his rocket boots and other technology and stuff like that. But for being how old Cad Bane is, and the whole point of like it's more it's not really how do I put this? I don't think it's more of a conversation of who's better. It's more of a or faster. It's more of a conversation of or it's more nostalgic, if that makes sense. Because I think Boba should have easily been able to outgun Cad. It's
Yeah.
just there's a lot of stuff behind that because Boba was in prison with Cad Bane. Boba learned some stuff from Cad Bane, I'm sure, because he was the number one bounty hunter at a time. His dad did stuff with Cad. And Django was the number one bounty hunter, and Cad Bane was the number two. So it is always interesting to see that Cad has been the shadow of the Fets.
Yeah.
Um, but so this is sorry. I'm gonna move on to what I would personally would have done with the show. I would have introduced Cad Bane earlier. I would have taken the Mandalorian season 3 episode 1 out. Um, the stuff with Luke was good. I feel like that could stay. Um, maybe, maybe
Like,
it needs to be
what
less.
would you take out though? Like, they were all good scenes. Maybe if the episodes were extended and the Mandalorian scenes were spaced out with Boba scenes in between,
I would have
maybe
taken
would
out
have
the
been
whole
better.
part of him building the ship.
You
Um,
would take out the Naboo fighter.
yeah, I mean it's cool, but like that's such an impractical thing for a bounty hunter to have.
Yeah, there's no cargo
Yeah,
space.
he's just gonna bring him in cold.
Yeah, I guess.
He's like, I'm gonna bring you
He's
in
the
cold.
he's gonna
That's his
tie
new
it.
saying.
He's gonna tie it to the ship while
Yeah.
he's in
So I
space,
hope he gets a new ship. Um,
or at least a cargo extension.
yeah, so like you can park it in the ship and then have a cargo ship. So I would have introduced Cad Bane earlier. I would have made Cad Bane the one to kill the Tuscans. And I would have they really pushed this, but they didn't push it very well because there wasn't a lot of time. Was the fact that Boba's a killer and he'll always be a killer.
I knew you were killer. I don't know what that doesn't mean anything though. Boba Fett's trying
Yeah,
to lead by respect, so killing people is like the opposite of what he's trying to do now. I understand that, but since when has killing someone been the issue? Because they just killed a whole bunch of pikes.
well, that's not like. Hmm. I guess what I'm trying to say is Boba's like
No, I understand what
Boba's
you're
not
saying. If they
necessarily
had
a
pushed it,
good person, if that makes sense.
yeah, they gave us like a whole main character treatment with it though, where it's like, oh, because now he's the main character, he's good. The one thing that they did push with what you're talking about is that he's gone soft, but then in his opinion, I've gotten stronger. Like Fennec, Cad, both called him soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't think he's soft. So it's like more like he's progressed as a character to like beyond being the murderer who's just doing whatever he feels like because he's something to look forward to, you know?
That's why I feel like Cad should have been in more of the show because there's a, Cad Bane obviously represents what a bounty hunter is, and Boba represents like, more than that now. So it would have shown like not only would the final fight have been, nostalgic, it would have meant something a little bit more because it's like, Boba is killing not only Cad Bane, he's killing his past.
Well, if they, I think they should have had a flashback to their first duel.
I don't know if that's necessary
Well, I think it is
because
necessary because it's never been seen. We have
you're right,
our,
because more of a general audience would not understand that, would they?
yeah, they would.
Um, yeah, so I think Cad Bane should have been introduced way earlier. Um, I don't even want to talk about the Mandalorian stuff. It's just so frustrating. It's like,
I mean,
wow.
like the Mandalorian stuff with Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka,
That was cool.
good. It was good. Um, the Mando scenes, he just kind of was put in there to be cool, and it just wasn't really working for me. So, I mean, I think there's not really much to say about that. The only thing I want to talk about before we move on to the other stuff, like move away from the Book of Boba Fett in our review, is the Luke and Grogu stuff.
Oh my gosh, yep.
So, Grogu, the reason why Grogu is probably still alive was because he was never part of the academy. And Grogu
I don't
chose
like that.
Din over Yoda's lightsaber. Because one thing that was fair was Luke was saying how a short time for Grogu is a lifetime for others. And he meant that as in, you know, focus on your training, the emotional connections aren't gonna last. There's no point, right? But then
Yeah.
Grogu took it, I think, as saying, "Well, if he's not gonna live for long, I'm gonna go be with him for the time I have with him." Right? You know?
Yeah, it's just I don't think that was a good choice.
You think you should have stayed and had
Mhm.
Yoda's lightsaber?
I'm conflicted. Um,
You don't want a Yoda wearing full Beskar Mandalorian armor with a
Not
jetpack
really.
and the
I
dark
really
saber,
don't.
a mini
It'd be
dark
cool if
saber?
he had the dark saber, but the dark saber's too big for him. So
Well, that's why it'd be a mini one.
here's my thing. I think they know Din cannot stand very well without Grogu.
Yeah. I mean, I think they know Baby Yoda was the attraction. Like, he was literally the meme that made everyone watch Mandalorian, you know?
Yeah, so they need him in the show. Plot wise, I do not think it was a good move.
Yeah.
Just because
I
there's
think it's
so
good.
much potential. Like, there's
I
so
think it's good
much
for
Grogu
Luke.
could get out of being with Luke.
I understand that. But like, I think the choice Grogu made makes sense.
I
It
think,
wasn't the right answer, but it was the answer that he chose. And I think this is good character development for Luke because it kind of puts Luke in the path of being an ignorant teacher who eventually tries almost kills his nephew, right?
but I don't want that about Luke. That's the
But that's,
problem.
yeah, unless they retcon it, it's gonna happen. So at least it shows. It's kind of like a like how you saw Anakin's dark parts before he became Darth Vader. You're seeing Luke messing up his training from the start because he's like, I don't know if he cares for it enough. So you're gonna force him an option. Either get this lightsaber and learn how to train and never see that your protector, the person who took care of you for a while, ever again, or take this armor and go and be with him until he dies. It's kind of like, what? Why would you give him that decision? It's a dumb decision to like give him
Yeah,
that. But like,
I think it
it
should.
makes sense with Luke's character, on how it ends. But yeah,
That aggravates me. I don't like Luke's character in the sequel trilogy. I feel like it should be more consistent with Luke, like how Luke actually is. But
Luke's changed.
talking about what could stem from this, obviously Mandalorian season 3, obviously Ahsoka,
Maybe Republic Commandos if they ever get that show going.
maybe Acolyte, maybe.
Well,
I'm just
Acolyte
kidding.
takes place during
Yes,
the
I'm
High
just
Republic.
joking. Yeah. Um,
Mace Yoda.
Very true. I was just saying that because I was like, we've literally heard nothing about these shows. Um,
Knights of Ren.
that's annoying. But okay, these are my theories. One,
Alright.
I think Luke will accept Grogu back into the Jedi Academy, and he'll learn that attachments are not necessarily a bad thing. That's one theory.
He'll meet Mara Jade and have a kid. Oh wait, that can't happen.
Two, um, I think Boba Fett's gonna become Mandalore.
Yeah,
And
you're
three,
still
I
on that.
think Finnick's gonna become the
The
Daimyo.
Daimyo. I could see that.
And I think the third one is the most likely one. I feel like they're gonna kill off Boba Fett and have Finnick be the Daimyo.
Uh, mm, the merchandise though.
That's
This
true.
is
The
Disney
reason I say
we're
that,
talking about.
yes, the reason I say Boba will become Mandalore is because you hear the the mythosaur will rise again, or how do you say it, William? The
Um, oh gosh. So it's
did I say it
close
right?
to Mythosaur, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember how to say it. And
Maybe the Mythosaur is Grogu. Dun,
well,
dun, dun, dun.
I feel like it's so blatantly referring to Boba. You
Um,
know,
uh,
maybe not. Maybe it's referring to Den.
well, the only thing I could think about what's gonna happen in Mandalorian season 3, maybe Luke stuff, maybe Boba stuff. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be more focused on Mandalore.
Yeah, but and it probably is referring to Den. But the first time I heard that, I was like, I think it's referring to Boba because what is Boba's symbol? It's literally the mythosaur or whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
this would. I don't know. It was a weird detail in the show.
You know
It
what they
really
did
was.
that I just realized? So they showed Mandalore in ashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They also showed Jedi getting killed during Order 66. So it showed like the two places, Mandalore and like the Jedi Temple and Coruscant getting destroyed, which I think is kind of cool.
That is interesting because like they're sworn enemies, but they can kind of relate in the fact that they were both like killed by the Empire
Yeah.
or what would become the Empire. Hmm. That
No,
is
I
an
think at
interesting
that
thought.
point it is the Empire, isn't it? Because he's like, "We shall now form the Galactic Empire."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
I guess we can move on from Book of Boba.
let's do
Sorry,
it.
there's just a lot of stuff to talk about it,
It's,
and it's just like a
it-
lot of stuff I wish would have happened, but
I gotta say, man, the music though was good.
it was good. Boba Fett. Did you hear that?
Uh, I don't know.
So it would the main song for Boba,
Yeah,
it would say Fett, and then it would go dum 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 Fett. Did you notice that?
I did not. I have to re-listen to
So
it.
I'm
That's
pretty
so
sure it. I'm pretty sure it did that because I was watching the last episode, and you know how I like to watch the post credit scenes at the end of the last episode because you know what could they be setting up for? And I swear I heard Fett doo doo doom doom doo doom, and then I went Boba like Boba Fett, and then like it was
bu-
just
bu-
weird.
bu- 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 bu. I don't know if it's
I
maybe.
swear it said that. Maybe I'm wrong, but you need to listen to it to see if it does.
I'll need to.
All
So,
right, so I guess we're
uh,
moving on.
Lightyear first.
Lightyear. So I don't think we're gonna watch the trailer right now. We're
No,
just gonna
no,
give
we're just gonna talk about it.
yeah. So William is not really feeling it still.
It's
I'm kind of feeling it a little bit
weird, bro.
more.
I mean, the way everything looks is just weirding me out. Let me
It
seeing,
is, but
Buzz or and the like I said though, they added Space Rangers, so I'm kind of cool with that. I don't like the premise though, where it's like I
they're
know
stuck on a planet.
where it's like there's always been like some war with Buzz Lightyear, like even with his old cartoon TV show. Like him and his fellow Space Rangers would go do Space Ranger things. This is just, hey, we're
Hmm.
stuck on a planet. There's tentacles that grab you all the time. It's whatever. But hey, you're gonna be our first person who's gonna get us off this bliss. And then
Yeah, I
wormhole.
don't know how I feel about Zurg yet, to be honest.
Zurg, he so he's big, really big.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's your dad though. I don't think
right.
it's his dad
Because
anymore.
you don't think so? Because I could have sworn in Toy Story 2, like he finds out that, or Zurg finds out he's Buzz's dad or
No, no,
whatever.
no. That happened. I'm just saying I don't
Okay,
think it's the case in this.
yeah, because I sent William the trailer and I was like, I can't wait to see the scene where he's like, I am your father, like Star
On the
Wars.
elevator.
Yeah.
um, I
Oh my
see.
gosh.
Unless Zurg is a person, he seems more like just a straight up robot. You know,
I don't think so. I think Zurg is a human inside of robots, or like inside of,
he's
you
in a
know, you,
transformer.
no, he's just wearing armor. You could be right though.
It's not really a transformer, but like he's in a
Well, not
big
Transformer.
mech.
I'm talking about like where Zurg may just be a robot, but I can't
Oh,
see
he
them
might be
doing
a
that.
robot. Well, I don't until I get confirmation that Zurg is an actual person. I'm gonna think he's a robot. That's just me. I mean, I may not be feeling this movie, but I could see as a little kid, I would enjoy it, you know?
I
But
agree.
like,
It's definitely intended for a younger audience.
I mean, it had kid funny stuff. Like the guy just gets grabbed by a tentacle and he's like, you're our only hope. And he just
Yeah.
then Buzz is like, okay, all right, I'll do it.
Um, it did make me a little bit more excited for the movie, so it did its job because before I was like, oh, this is just gonna be a weird movie. Now I'm like, okay, we see Zurg. Zurg looks weird, but it's still cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be good. They don't really miss with their movies since
I,
like
I disagree.
some of the most recent stuff was
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you. Do you mean the Toy Story movies or?
Well, Toy Story 4 and Luca.
Was you didn't like Luca?
I didn't hear good things about it. I
Yeah,
never
it wasn't
watched
my
it though.
favorite either. I have a family friend who that's her favorite movie. She's like super little. Every time she comes over, she goes, "Can we watch Luca?" And so I've seen that movie so many times.
Maybe you're just not Italian enough to appreciate it.
Yeah,
Maybe I should
maybe
actually
not.
watch it, and then I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, this is a spicy meatball."
I don't think you'd like it. I really don't. I thought,
It's like a mermaid. It's hanging out in Italy, basically, right?
yes, I think you'd like Raya. Raya, I thought was decent.
I heard
Encanto,
good
I
things
thought
about
was
that.
trash. I know you've probably heard good things about Encanto. I just thought it was terrible.
I've heard a lot of good things about Encanto,
I mean, the
but I
music
haven't seen
is
Coco,
top tier.
so I'm not gonna watch Encanto either.
Coco is amazing. So music and Encanto is top tier. The plot is terrible. It just doesn't. It's not very.
Well, for
Mm,
Encanto, one thing I've heard the most, like I've told you this already, we mentioned Encanto before, maybe that um people hate the mother or the grandmother or something because she's forcing
yeah,
her, like she's not accepting that she was a bad mother or something like that.
the plot is just all over the place, and if you actually look into it, it's actually a very poorly written movie, and it's a terrible movie. It's just like,
Dang,
okay, we can cover that up with the fact that there's good songs, and that's why everybody likes it, which I don't get.
that's how High
Um,
School Musical works.
okay, don't disrespect High School Musical in that way.
Oh, you want to go? I like the movies. I like them.
Um,
I'll admit it now. I listen to some of the songs here and there.
I'm just kidding. I can, yeah, that is kind of how High School Musical works. But
I mean,
I think it will be one of the better Pixar movies to come
I think
out.
so too.
Um,
Are we gonna get
trying
a
to think what the last good
roundup
Pixar movie I watched
movie?
was.
You'd probably like that
Huh,
if we got a
which
Woody's
one?
Roundup movie
Oh my gosh, yes, a TV show.
or like a movie or something where it's like
Matt,
they'll delve into the Toy Story characters' backstories.
you'd see Jesse, you see Bullseye, you see Stink. Is his name Stinky Pete? What's his
What?
name?
I was gonna say One-Eyed Pete, but that's not right. I think it's Stinky. I think it's Stinky.
Is his name Pete?
Stink-Eyed Pete. I don't know. Something. Something like
Okay,
that. But that would be cool. If they were gonna do another Toy Story thing, I feel like they should do that for sure.
I agree. Um,
Technically, though, is that a Toy Story movie or is it a Buzz Lightyear movie?
it's a good question.
Yeah,
But regardless, I'm definitely gonna watch the Lightyear movie. I think it's going to be good.
yeah.
Moving on, if you all weren't aware,
The dinosaur.
uh, new Jurassic World Dominion trailer dropped. I know people were like, I was like, have you seen the new Jurassic World trailer yesterday? And people were like, wait, they're making another Jurassic World, and I was like, yeah, they've been or it's been rumored for a little bit, or it was announced, and then whatever.
Dun, dun,
Which
dun, dun,
it has a major
dun.
plot hole with reptiles and snow, but it's okay
Well, I think I gave a pretty good reason for why it works. You know,
because they're so big.
well, like I don't. I'm not a dino scientist. I'm not a paleontologist or whatever. But I think maybe the area that has snow in the trailer isn't cold all year round, you know?
Yeah,
And then
true.
I think that the dinosaurs are just so big that snow just hits different, you know?
Yes. So I do want to mention a few things in that. We see a Quetzal. I'm pretty sure. What is a Quetzal? Am I just which a Quetzal is a type of pterodactyl? It's just huge. I'm pretty sure if I'm getting my dino science right. I could be completely wrong. We see a Therizinosaurus, which If you don't know what that is, it's the big thing with claws. It's just freaky looking, but it's really cool. And I think I couldn't figure out what this was. I'm not a dinosaur expert either, but I think it's a Utah raptor, which gives me hope that we'll see a Utyrannus. That
Well,
was a thing.
I don't really get what this movie's about.
I
Is it
don't
just
either.
them recapturing the dinosaurs? Are they gonna
Yeah,
kill
I
the
think it's gonna be a
dinosaurs?
pretty bad movie.
Like, are they doing like a this whole thing where they track down the dinosaurs and they go and kill them, or is it like a
I
well?
think it's gonna be more so a thing where it's like, we created these animals and, maybe it's not the best that we did create them, but they still have the right to live their lives now that we did create them.
I mean, I think that's like the moral of the movie, probably. But I feel like the conflict is them going to try to kill the dinosaurs or something. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
they're bringing uh Blumenfeld back, and they're bringing John Hammond. Sorry, no, not John Hammond. What am I talking about? Uh,
Is it
Discount
Alan?
Indiana Jones. Discount
Is his name
Indiana
Alan?
Jones. I think so. Yeah, I remember because that raptor in the airplane looked at him and said, "Hey, Alan." Oh, that's definitely him.
That's funny. Um, yeah, and also you get the original lady.
You do?
Um, maybe we'll see the kids that were in the car.
Maybe. We
We don't
haven't seen
know.
them since Jurassic Park Lost World. Lost World? Or was it the second one? The second one, whatever. Whatever the second one was
I
called.
can't remember. But I don't from what I've seen so far, I don't know if this is gonna be a good movie.
T-Rex attacking the Burger King. What are we gonna do? No,
But I think you should definitely go watch the trailer because the dinosaurs look amazing.
well, that's
Amazing.
always the best part with it, and a lot of that they actually do practical effects too, which is kind of crazy. Like, have you seen the behind the scenes for like the dinosaur practicals for
Yeah,
the
that stuff is crazy.
yeah, just animatronics that look real and it's crazy.
Um, the so the last thing we're talking about today is something I'm very excited about.
Yep.
So there
Well,
was
a
like
couple.
trailers
It's
for
a couple of things. Couple of
yeah, a
things.
couple of things, but there was kind of a glimpse for DC 2022, what's coming out. And the Batman was there, of course. We saw the Flash, uh, Aquaman, and then also Black Adam. Which in the
Yeah.
Flash, I think that's going to be a terrible movie. I don't like Ezra Miller Flash.
Well, if
Uh,
it's the Snyder cut Flash, I think it might be good.
I still don't like Ezra Miller Flash.
You know what? I'll send you a scene to watch by yourself later, and maybe it'll change your opinion on him.
Maybe. I just, I don't know. Then Aquaman, which, oh my gosh, this is so hard for me. Like, especially after seeing this, because I was like, I'm not watching Aquaman. But I love the character of Aquaman. I know that's a really stupid thing, but like most recently, I bought the first appearance of Ocean Master. I just like the character of Aquaman, and I really liked the Aquaman movie. I thought it was a really good movie. Like, I remember me and you having a conversation in one of our classes about, and I said like, I think Aquaman is better than this and that and that, and you're like, absolutely not. Like, it is not even close to those movies.
Definitely not.
It's just one of those movies that I really, really enjoyed. and I don't really have a reason why, other than the fact that I like Aquaman.
Well,
Um,
yeah, is that girl gonna be in it?
Amber Heard is going to be in it. That's what the hard part is.
Maybe she dies.
I don't know. We'll see. I still don't think I'm gonna watch it because I didn't watch crime, or I'm not gonna watch Crimes of Grindelwald. But
I'm so Grindelwald. I mean, y- yeah. I mean,
it's a tough situation because I want to
yeah.
support Jason Momoa, but I don't want to support Amber Heard. Um, so moving on to the thing I'm excited about, we saw some pretty cool stuff about Black Adam.
We saw some really cool characters, such as
Yes,
Hawkman,
Hawkman,
Doctor Fate, Atom Smasher,
which Adam
which
Smasher looks amazing. Like
that was very much
the
cool seeing him.
cinematography. Well, everyone looks amazing. Like I, I was worried about Adam Smasher because I was like, the visual effects on a character that can grow to that size. I'm just really worried about. Um, but Adam Smasher looks really good.
And there's more
Hawkman looks
too, right?
amazing. Well, Cyclone. I think we see that girl that the guy who's playing Adam Smasher is talking to is Cyclone.
Hmm.
Um, did you see any other characters that I didn't see?
No, no. But I'm saying I thought we were gonna have more than just those three. You know
Yeah, I
what we
imagine
need? So they already showed Green Lanterns in the, Justice League movie. Maybe just like have what was it called? The Green Guardian or Alan Scott. You should have
I
Alan
don't.
Scott.
Yeah, Alan Scott would be kind of cool. I don't think that would work though. I don't
You
think
don't
they
think it
would
would
do
work?
that. I think they would do more so. Who would they do? Who else would they do? We got,
Our man,
huh?
our man.
They could do Our Man.
You know what? I think they did Our Man for the Stargirl TV show. Actually,
They did, so they probably won't. I don't think we're gonna see Spectre.
yeah, he'd be too broken.
Um, you know,
So I don't
I think you're
think.
right. We could definitely see Alan Scott or Jay Garrick.
Oh, a Flash. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That'd be cool. But
We could also see. Sorry, I'll
I'm.
let you continue.
I don't think Black Adam is the bad guy in the movie. And I mean, of course, he wasn't the bad guy. I don't think he might fight the heroes at one point in the movie, probably the middle or the beginning, but I don't think he's the overall threat. I think it's something else
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
because I don't think he's the those are the main guys that he's going to be fighting.
So
And
I would have to agree with you to an extent because you know Black Adam is kind of a morally ambiguous
ambiguous,
character. Um, he starts off as a bad guy, but he's kind of like, okay, as long as I get to do my thing, we're fine. Like you
yeah,
see this in one prominent example is in Justice. He's just like, okay, just let me do my thing. I have conduct.
yeah.
Like this is my place in the world. So just leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. And it's gonna be interesting. That's
I don't know
that's
who
really
his
interesting that
son
you bring
is
it up,
supposed to be though.
huh?
Maybe it's Osiris, his son.
Ooh. You said you don't know who is supposed to be?
I don't know who Black Adam's son is supposed to be. I wonder if it's Osiris.
Hmm. I don't know either. Um,
I mean, it, so we all originally thought when we first heard Black Adam that Shazam was going to be in it, but this takes place during the JSA era, and I think what this is leading up to is building up Black Adam as a character for Shazam 2, right?
do you think they capture him and put him under the Rock of Eternity?
Maybe. I don't think he's I mean, like I said, though, I don't think it's gonna be him teaming up with the JSA to stop something or someone who's, like, really strong, and then he's gonna, probably at the end where they're like, "Oh, you can join us," he's gonna be like, "No," and then he goes back to Conduct or something, you know?
Mm. I'm really concerned now because who's gonna be
The villain.
the only thing I can think of is the Spectre shows up.
You know what? It's obviously gonna be gosh, I forgot his name. Oh, man, I can't say the joke now. Who's that guy that everyone wants to be in Marvel? He's like the bad guy. Um, like
Kang?
whenever no, whenever like whenever magic is involved.
Mephisto?
Mephisto. I was gonna say it's obviously Mephisto, but you know, joking. Mephisto is Marvel. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I'm probably gonna do like some research on my own, looking at who could be the big bad because, well, I don't know, Black Adam may just be wrecking the GSA or something, and then he gets put into the Rock of Eternity. But I think he's gonna help the GSA. I don't know against who though, so I have to look into who I think that would be.
That is a very interesting point.
Steppenwolf.
Um,
Joking.
I hope not. Um,
Thank goodness.
gosh. Um, you know, it depends on what type of characters will be there. Like Doctor Fate, insanely powerful. If you guys don't know, I would say he's more powerful than Doctor Strange.
I would also say that.
Like as a comparison, like a lot more powerful. Um,
If you're a doctor, you're a magical character.
just to put that in perspective, I know he's Doctor Strange is Marvel and Doctor Fate is DC, but that's just to put it in perspective.
Well, you see, the big difference is Doctor Fate is spelled Dr. Period Fate. Doctor Strange is spelled Doctorstrange.
What?
No, I was joking. You know how like
Oh,
Doctor Fate, like they say, whenever you say Doctor Fate, you think of doctor, but not like the word spelled out.
yeah.
And then Doctor Strange is doctor fully
Oh,
spelled
okay. I
out.
see what you're saying. Sorry, I'm too tired. That joke went over my head.
It's
Um,
okay.
if we see characters like the Spectre show up, and I
Well,
would say Alan Scott or Jay Garrick, like
it definitely
there's
opens up
obvious,
the mystic realm for them, like
yeah,
the magic stuff, which is like you said, one of DC's stronger points.
I would I would say so. I think we could also see maybe not just Black Adam, maybe like a three-way fight. Black Adam, the JSI is going after Black Adam, and this other character or whatever, and Black Adam is fighting this other, or sorry,
Oh,
Black
so
Adam
instead
fights this
of
other character.
so instead of my idea where Black Adam helps JSA fight somebody, it's a three-way fight. That could
Yeah. You know who it could be? I'm just thinking now.
who could it be?
Eclipso.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I mean, maybe. Yeah, actually, they're fighting Shazam's former user.
Hmm.
I mean, that could
I
be a
don't know.
thing
You make a very good point, William, and now I'm very intrigued. Um,
because you know this is what like 50 years ago or something. I don't know what the GSA is active. What this is weird though because this sets a precedence where it's like these people were around, but they're never mentioned in Superman or Superman v Batman, right? Never mentioned.
yeah, it all does seem like they're setting up a new universe, but it could also be that the JSA is still active and just taking
Yeah.
place at the same time.
I mean, I don't think it's the same time though, because the JSA is always usually before the Justice League. Because
Well,
then,
that's
where
only
was the
because it's all
JSA when Darkseid was coming? You know, and it's like the whole Wonder Woman thing also screws with stuff. Because was the JSA just chilling during this point when the world's going crazy? Honestly, I think what's coming out first, The Flash or this? Do we know?
uh I think Black Adam.
Okay, I was gonna say if The Flash comes out first, his Flashpoint could just screw up everything. Where it's like he just goes back further than just like there's more flashes in it. So maybe the Flash movie like messes up the timeline, starts a new one where the Batman is the Batman in the universe too. Maybe. Just maybe a possibility. I don't know.
That's possible because then it can incorporate the JSA and then it could also fix some of the plot points and bring everything together.
Yeah.
If there are multiple flashes, Jay Garrick could be a very good possibility for this movie.
I would agree.
It's just like it's so hard when you have a team of superheroes, especially this powerful, because it's just like who are they gonna fight?
Yeah, the JSA is definitely, definitely, especially those guys, definitely strong. I mean, Doctor Fate alone is extremely strong.
I'd
Who
say Doctor
do you,
Fate alone could take out like a lot of people.
do you think Doctor Fate could be Black Adam?
I think so.
I think so as well.
I think Black Adam could be Doctor Fate as well, though.
Well, I think it depends on what the Helmet of Fate wants, because
The
maybe the
Helm of
Helmet of Fate,
Naboo.
well, Naboo is probably like maybe oh, Kent Nelson, don't body like Adam. Don't use full strength.
Well, Black Adam is also a very proficient magic user. That's why I'm saying that. Doctor Fate is obviously a crazy magic user, right? But he doesn't have the speed or strength of Black Adam. That's why
True.
it's a very interesting
Well,
fight.
they're gonna show us how Black Adam got his powers, also. So
Yeah,
we'll
so
probably
we'll
see.
definitely see. Gosh, but fighting Doctor Fate, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and Hawkman. I mean, I think Black Adam. Gosh, it's tough because you do make a good point because Black Adam has been a enemy of them in the past, but it's just hard to think that all those characters are fighting just Black Adam.
Yeah,
All right,
unless
well,
they scale The Rock is stronger than like Dr. Fate, then I could see that as being a problem. If they give Dr. Fate the Boba Fett treatment.
Well, also at this point, I'm sure they've heard of Black Adam, right? Because he's like a mystic person and also the wizard Shazam. Like, there's
Dr.
probably
Fate
ties between.
would probably know. I don't know if Hawkman has been around, so he'd probably know too.
Well, Hawkman's a yeah, that's a weird situation.
Yeah, but no
But
Hawkgirl. Huh. They never do Hawkgirl. Whenever they do, so like in the animated stuff, they'll do Hawkgirl. But whenever it's a live action, it's always Hawkman, never Hawkgirl. Never them together, really.
that is true.
Because
Um,
examples in Smallville, they had Hawkman and what's it called? DC Legends of Tomorrow. They did have Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but they like left the show. Um, they just it's always Hawkman, really, which is kind of you know.
well, I'm sure they'll do depending on how well this movie's received. I'm sure just or JSA will get a spinoff.
Hopefully,
So, we're definitely gonna have to do some research and stuff because, I've heard about a lot of these characters, right? And I like them. It's just I don't know everything about them because they are older, and I tend to know more about like, that's a terrible example. I was gonna say Batman and Superman, but that is a
but
very terrible example.
yeah, they're the first ones.
I tend to
So
know more about like, Barry Allen, and
yeah, Silver Age,
yeah.
not
So,
Gold Age.
but anyways.
All right,
What do you guys think about the Book of Boba Fett?
and
Was it, oh, sorry?
not I continue.
Was it like, did you think it was a good show or was it not your cup of tea? And then also, which one of these, I guess, announcement are you most excited for? Um, Personally, I think my favorite, or the thing I'm most excited for is Black Adam.
I would agree.
Dang, okay. I'm slowly swaying William to the Black Adam side.
The only thing is like it's okay. So it's only because I have more faith in The Rock than I have in the Batman. So
Fair.
because The Rock
Um,
usually always does good, you know. It's never him that brings down stuff. Plus, I mean,
yeah, and he
I
seems like he's becoming a better actor.
yeah, I mean, plus I've also seen a bunch of Batman stuff throughout my life. Never really live action JSA. So, you know,
Agreed.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you guys next time.